The Cardinals take 2 out of 3 from the Braves. The Seattle Mariners take 3 out of 4 from the Cleveland Guardians. The American League Central and the National League East races are still fairly close. The wild card races in Major League Baseball are getting hot. The NASCAR Cup Series was at Daytona despite a rain out on Saturday night. They raced on Sunday. We have a new driver, a new winner this season, and 2 drivers punched their tickets into the Cup playoffs. And the Nebraska football team is so bad, my sister has called for Scott Frost to be fired. I will have more on that tonight, and we will start the show right after this. So good to have you guys here with me here tonight. We're going to go right into the show. We got a lot to talk about, and let's just jump right into it. The St. Louis Cardinals took 2 out of 3 from the Atlanta Braves. This was a heavyweight matchup right from the start of the weekend. It didn't look like it on Friday when the Braves took care of the Cardinals 11-4. But 2 huge wins over the Cardinals on Saturday and Sunday were a big, big help, and it was proven why. Paul Goldschmidt, 3 for 8 in the series with 2 runs, 2 walks, but he struck out 3 times, unfortunately. Nolan Arenado. Now, he did not play the whole series, but I want to give my congratulations to the Arenado family. They just had their first child. Their son Levi was born, and as a little welcome to the world. Arenado went 5 for 8 with a run, a double. He had a home run, 3 RBIs, and a strikeout. Brendan Donovan. He's hitting .299. 4 for 13, 3 runs, a double, an RBI, and a strikeout. Tommy Edman. He's hitting .253. He was 1 for 10 for the weekend, but that one hit was a home run and an RBI. But unfortunately, he did have 2 runs, but he did strike out 4 times. Tyler O'Neill. 2 for 6, 3 runs, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 4 walks, and he struck out once. Goldschmidt's hitting .338. Arenado's hitting .306. One of those 2 will win MVP, will win National League MVP. I guarantee it. If that doesn't happen, I'll be shocked. Now to the other side of the ball. For the Atlanta Braves, Dansby Swanson. He was 3 for 15 with 2 runs, a home run. He had 4 RBIs in the series, but he struck out 7 times. Austin Riley. He's the other MVP contender that everybody wants to talk about. He's hitting .286. He was 4 for 10 with 2 runs, a double, 1 RBI, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Wilson Contreras. This guy's hitting .272. He was 5 for 12 with 3 runs, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, a walk, but he struck out 4 times. Travis Darno. He was a hot bat for the Braves. 6 for 12 with 3 runs, a double, a home run, 4 RBIs, a walk. He struck out 3 times. And Matt Olson, he was 5 for 12 with 2 doubles in the series, but he did have a walk, and that was it. But if you're looking for a pitching performance for the weekend, let's go back to Friday night. Spencer Strider. He pitched 6 solid innings, gave him 6 hits, 1 earned run, a walk. He struck out 7. This guy's 8 for 4 with a 2.87 ERA. And if you look at the numbers as a whole, those 5 big bats for the Cardinals I mentioned, they were combined 15 for 47 with 10 strikeouts. The Atlanta Braves bats for the weekend, they were combined 23 for 51, 15 strikeouts, 7 of them by Dansby Swanson. No wonder the Braves are still trying to fight to catch the Mets in the National League East. That's part of the problem right there. However, at the end of the day, the Cardinals take 2 out of 3 at Busch Stadium, and it was a great weekend for everybody. Great win Friday for the Braves, then on Saturday and Sunday, the Cardinals get the job done. Now, despite the fact that Jordan Montgomery had his struggles on Saturday, all was not lost. The Cardinals did manage to take 2 out of 3 in the series, and that's the truth of the matter. All right, let's move on. The Seattle Mariners take 3 out of 4 from the Cleveland Guardians. How in the world did they manage to pull that off? Let's see. Ty France. He was 2 for 7 with a run, a home run, an RBI, and 3 strikeouts. This guy's hitting .278. Julio Rodriguez. He's hitting .264, but he was only 1 for 15. But he made that one a big one. 1 home run and an RBI. He also had 2 runs, 2 walks, and he struck out 4 times. Mitch Hagner. This guy was 4 for 16. This guy's hitting .263. He was 4 for 16 with 1 run, a double, a home run, 4 RBIs, a walk. He struck out 3 times. And Adam Frazier, this guy's hitting .244, but he was 2 for 10 with a run, a double, an RBI, and a walk. Not bad. Taking 3 out of 4 from the Guardians at home. These 2 teams play each other at the end of this week. Keep that in mind. Now, as far as the Cleveland Guardians go, it was a little bit of a depressing weekend. Andres Gimenez, this guy's hitting .302, but it didn't look like it. He was 2 for 15 with a double and RBI. He struck out 3 times. Stephen Kwan, this guy's hitting .298. He was 4 for 14 with 3 runs, a double, but he did have an RBI. I'll give him that. He had 2 walks, but he struck out 3 times. Ahmed Rosario, he's hitting .283. He was 5 for 17 with a run and a double. He struck out 8 times. Inexcusable. And Jose Ramirez, he's hitting .283 as well. He was 3 for 15 with 2 runs, a double, a home run, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and he struck out 3 times. But if you're looking for a pitching performance for this 4-game set, I've got the perfect one for you. And it took place today on this Sunday in Seattle. Robbie Ray, 7 innings pitched, gave up 3 hits, struck out 7. This guy has an 11-8 record with a 3.58 ERA. Pretty impressive. That's why the Mariners are hanging on for a wild card spot. Bottom line. But if you think about the whole series as a whole, let's go back to the big bats for a second. The 4 big bats for Seattle that I mentioned, they were combined 9 for 48 with 10 strikeouts. Not good, but they took 3 out of 4. But the Cleveland bats, those 4 big bats, they got a better batting average than the Mariners. They were combined 14 to 61, 17 strikeouts in that series. Unbelievable. That's why the American League Central is only separated by 2 games. The Minnesota Twins swept the San Francisco Giants this weekend, like I expected would happen. But the question is, does it get any easier for the Guardians? I should say not. Starting, I think, either tomorrow or Tuesday. Let's talk about the American League Central race. The Guardians have a 2-game lead over the Minnesota Twins. But here's what's coming up next for the Guardians and the Twins both. The Guardians have 3 at home against the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles are only a game and a half back of the Toronto Blue Jays for that 3rd and final wild card spot. Then after that, the Guardians have the Mariners at Progressive Field over the weekend. And Seattle's got the 2nd wild card spot. But what's next for the Minnesota Twins? The Twins have the Red Sox at home. However, they got to go on the road to face the White Sox at US. I don't know the name of their field. They got to go to the south side of Chicago to face the White Sox. That's all there is to it. The American League wild card race is tight. No doubt about it. Tampa Bay holds that top spot with plus 1.5. But what's coming up next for the Tampa Bay Rays? They got 2 on the road against the Miami Marlins. They won't have too far to go. Then and that's just a quick 2-gamer. That's a 2-game quickie. Like I use, that's what I'm going to call it from now on. A 2-game quickie. I like that. And then the Rays have 3 at home against the New York Yankees. Look out, look out. But what about the Seattle Mariners? The Mariners are holding on to that second wild card spot with plus 1. I'm not sure how easy it's going to get for the Mariners. They got 3 on the road against Detroit. Then they got to go on the road to face Cleveland. And the Toronto Blue Jays, they're fighting for that third and final wild card spot. They got 3 at home against the Chicago Cubs. Then they got 3 on the road against Pittsburgh going into the next weekend. And then the Baltimore Orioles, you already know about the Orioles and the Guardians having a 3-gamer probably starting on Tuesday. Then after that, then it gets really, really hairy and really, really tight. The Blue Jays and the Orioles, I got a very important 3-game set with that third and final wild card spot on the line. We're going into September, folks. It's going to get serious. Look out. That's all I have to say. And I am paying attention to the National League East. The East is only separated by 3 games. The Mets lost today, but the good news for the Mets is the Cardinals did them a favor by beating the Braves. Now, the Mets schedule is going to get crazy. The Mets have a 6-game homestand coming up. The Mets have 3 at home against the hottest team in the National League in the Los Angeles Dodgers. Then they go and face the cellar dwellers of the National League East, the Washington Nationals. Those are 2 big 3-game sets right there. Well, what about the Atlanta Braves? Everybody's been wondering. The Atlanta Braves are 3 games back. Do they have a chance to catch the Mets? Absolutely. But they have 3 against the Rockies at home, and then you got 3 against the Marlins at home. Should be easy series, but you never know. And if you look at the wild card race in the National League, it's down to 4 teams. The Atlanta Braves are the hottest team in the wild card category. They're at plus 9 right now. They got 3 against Colorado at home and 3 against Miami at home, like I've already said. But what about the Philadelphia Phillies? There's been some questions there. Now, Phillies have the second wild card spot at plus 2.5. They've got 3 on the road against the Diamondbacks and 3 on the road against the San Francisco Giants. Not an easy task. And the San Diego Padres are holding on to that. They're clinging on to that third and final wild card spot. They're going to have their hands full. They've got 3 on the road against the San Francisco Giants, and then they got 3 on the road against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Oh, yikes. And then the Milwaukee Brewers, they're a game and a half back. I've not forgotten about them either. They've got 3 at home against Pittsburgh and 4 on the road against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And that's just all there is to it. It's going to get interesting, folks. The battle in the National League wild card is really heating up. And I'm not sure if I should be worrying about. I'm going to be paying more attention to that third wild card spot in both of the divisions, in both the American League and National League. But I'm probably going to be paying more attention to the American League for now because it is so close. It's so tight. It's not even funny anymore. And folks, this is the final week. We only got a few days left in August. And then it's going to be September before you know it. It's going to be time for somebody to make their next move. Do you remember that old 1966 song, See You in September? But in this case, it could be possibly See You in October. I like that. It's got a nice ring to it. All right. Now, I've had enough baseball talk for one day. Let's talk some NASCAR. And I'm going to take a few minutes and talk about this because the chase for the Cup begins next Sunday night at Darlington at 6 o'clock on the USA Network. But the Cup race today at Daytona had just about everything. Kyle Larson was on the pole, blew an engine after 15 laps. He was done early. He finished dead last. This race featured about 3 or 4 wrecks. I don't know what to say. Well, when the dust finally settled, Austin Dillon came home the winner. He punched his ticket today into the Cup playoffs. Tyler Reddick finished second. This year's Daytona 500 champion Austin Cindric finished third. Landon Castle with a nice run finishing fourth. And Noah Gragson, 2 Xfinity regulars finishing fourth and fifth today. Cody Ware, a nice run for him finishing sixth today. B.J. McLeod finishing seventh. Martin Truex Jr. missed the Cup playoffs by 3 points. He finished seventh today. Finished eighth. David Reagan finished ninth, and Kyle Busch rounded out the top 10, finishing 10th. And Ryan Blaney, with a 15th place finish, being 3 points above the cut line, gets into the Cup playoffs despite not winning a race. Now, Kurt Busch did win a race earlier this season, but he's decided to sit out the Cup playoffs due to concussion protocols. That's unfortunate. But could this be a sign of retirement for Kurt Busch? We'll have to wait and see on that one. That's just all there is to it. Now the chase for the Cup. The one thing that you guys want to know, the chase for the Cup. Here's how it's going to be seeded. Chase Elliott, 4 wins this season, 2,040 points. He's got the number 1 seed. He wrapped up the regular season at Watkins Glen. Joey Logano will be seeded number 2. He'll have 2,025 points. He's got 2 wins this season. Ross Chastain will be seeded 3rd, 2,020 points. He has 2 wins this season. Kyle Larson, he'll be seeded 4th, 2,019 points. He's got 2 wins this season himself. William Byron will be seeded 5th. He'll have 2,014 points going in. He's got 2 wins this season. Denny Hamlin will be seeded 6th, 2,013 points, 2 wins this season. Ryan Blaney, despite not having a win this season, will be seeded 7th with 2,013 points. Tyler Reddick, he'll have with 2,012 points, he'll be seeded 8th, and he's got 2 wins this season. Kevin Harvick, he will be seeded 9th, 2,012 points, 2 wins this season. Christopher Bell, with 2,011 points, will be seeded 10th. He's Kyle Busch, he'll be seeded 11th with 2,010 points. He's won 1 race this season. Chase Briscoe, with 2,009 points, will be seeded 12th. He's won 1 race this season. Daniel Suarez, with 2,007 points, will be seeded 13th. He's got 1 win this season. Austin Cindric, with 2,006 points, he'll be seeded 14th with 1 win this season. He won the Daytona 500 all the way back in February. Alex Bowman, with 2,006 points, will be seeded 15th. He's got 1 win. And today's winner, Austin Dillon, will be seeded 16th with 2,005 points. Those are your 16 drivers that will start the chase for the Cup in Darlington. Championship weekend will be in Phoenix, Arizona. And that's still in November. But November will be here before we know it. And the Southern 500 in Darlington will be next Sunday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on the USA Network. We'll wait and see what happens there. All the chase drivers are going to be starting right close to each other. You better believe it. Can Ryan Blaney break through and win the Southern 500 and get himself in a good position? We'll have to wait and see on that. But the truth is this. The battle for the Cup begins next Sunday. And personally myself, I am looking forward to it. And that is the truth of the matter. All right, I want to to talk about something else. I've had enough NASCAR talk and enough baseball talk. We need to talk some college football. This past weekend was week 0 of the college football season. Now, what do you mean by week 0? The first weekend of the college football season started, but there were no ranked matchups at all. Not one team was ranked. But the game in Dublin, Ireland between Nebraska and Northwestern was totally ridiculous. Nebraska had an 11-point lead. And I'll tell you right now, it was just absolutely ridiculous what I saw. An onside kick up by 11, and Northwestern came all the way back and took the win. Nebraska cannot get the job done in close games. They are 5-21 in games decided by 7 points or less. That is absolutely sickening. Nebraska's performance was so bad, my sister was calling for Scott Frost to be fired. But I'll tell you right now, this is going to be an interesting week. Last weekend was week 0 of the college football season. And this is going to lead right into my closing thoughts for the night. We have 3 big matchups coming up in college football next weekend. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 5, Notre Dame in the Horseshoe. We have number 3, Georgia versus number 11, Oregon in Atlanta. And then the 3rd ranked versus ranked matchup, you may think, Scott, you've lost your mind. But it's ranked versus ranked, but I'm going to talk about it. Number 19, Arkansas. Number 23, Cincinnati. The Bearcats. Luke Fickell. I got a lot of respect for him. A former Ohio State guy himself. Here's the deal. We have 3 great matchups on Friday, coming up this weekend. We got some great games on Thursday night. We got Penn State Purdue on Thursday. And I may be doing a wrap-up of that. I haven't decided yet. But folks, before I go, I do want to make an announcement. I just want to let you guys know that the Scott Manning Friday YouTube Sports Machine will not air. Instead, Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, I am going to be doing a college football special to get you guys ready for the upcoming season. There's a lot at stake. We have 3 big matchups over the weekend, and I may be doing a review of Thursday just to get you ready. It's a big weekend in college football. Yes, I'm not going to deny it. Everything. And I mean, there's a lot at stake. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 5, Notre Dame. We could be talking national championship implications in the first weekend of the season. Georgia and Atlanta. Georgia against Oregon in Atlanta. Kelly Giddish's hometown. A Georgia girl herself. To tell you the truth, 3 great matchups this weekend in college football. I'm going to be talking about all 3 of them, but I may be doing a review of some of the games on Thursday night, depending on how they go, just to be fair. In all honesty, everything is up for grabs. Not a bad way to open up week 1 of the college football season. And that's all I have to say. Okay, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here on this night. Please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Scott Manning. All you have to do is type my name, scroll down, look for this pretty face, click subscribe, and you will see all of the sports shows I have done so far. Now, I just want to let you know, I will not be here on YouTube on Friday. I'm going to be doing a Facebook special Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock to get you ready for the upcoming weekend in college football. But I will be back here, and I might do a Saturday night college football scoreboard show. I haven't decided on that yet, but I may do one anyway, just to make it up to you. But I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here on this night. Thank you so much for being with me, and God bless. Good night, everybody, and I thank you. And before we go, here is a little tribute to the Ohio State University Marching Band.